Hi, welcome to the Stockinette Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Janitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is Nacho typical episode.
Yes, this is a kind of special report.
And I guess we could call it episode 76. But it's being recorded on a day that we don't normally record.
Yep.
During the day, zombies in the daylight. So we might look like
crazy bright,
or you might be like, gosh, she's not all that pretty in the daylight. And we got two boys napping and Amy's daughter over there. So we might have some interruptions. We might not. We shall see.
Aww, the kitty likes me.
Yeah. Playing with Kat. Chazzy's over entertaining her.
Yes.
So we did not record this past week because my family was ill. And we went to Yarnover. I got better in time to go to Yarnover, thank goodness. Mm-hmm. And we headed up to the Twin Cities. If you've not heard of Yarnover, the Minnesota Knitters Guild puts it on every year, brings in awesome sauce teachers, and puts on a great event. The teachers teach classes. They have a wonderful marketplace. I would encourage any and all to come and attend Yarnover that is interested.
It is a really well-organized, great teachers, and big marketplace. Big-ish. It's not going to be super huge like Stitches or something, but it's good.
Yeah, it is. And local folks, like local to the Midwest. I mean, there were Chicago folks and Minnesota folks, and in the marketplace at least.
During the day, I have to clean my glasses, apparently.
Uh-oh. You can see the speckles.
Yep.
So we went up on Friday, and I hung out in a yarn shop, Bella Lana, which is beautiful. They have a greyhound there, an Italian greyhound named Enzo, and wonderful, beautiful Chinese lanterns all over the ceilings. Everything is white except the yarn, so it really pops everywhere, and it's a beautiful yarn shop. Amy, you went clothes shopping.
Yes, I did. I found some jeans. I found some sandals and a few tops. But mostly it was just about getting away with my friend Karen, Balke. She's going to be at the retreat, so a few of you can meet her. And we just had a great day. We ate at Pizza Luce, downtown Minneapolis.
With iRock Knits.
Yes, Corey joined us, and my friend Karen and Megan, and then stopped in at Bella Lana real quick for me, whirlwind. Megan was sitting down with Bacon Fairy.
Yes.
So it was just so great to see all these people in person, especially, viewers that we've never met before. So then we jetted over to the hotel.
In
super bad traffic.
Super bad traffic.
It was not pleasant.
And they had a dinner where the guest speaker was Stephanie Pro McPhee, and then all of the teachers that were teaching classes, and I can't even remember all of them, but just wonderful folks. Franklin Habit was there, Stephen West was there, Stephanie Pro McPhee was there,
Nancy Bush.
Oh
gosh, there was a million. Susan, we met her after, but right now her last name escapes me, but designer extraordinaire, did a color work class or color class.
And so we sat at the Stephen West table. Stephen B was there as well.
Yes.
And his mom. And had just a fantastic time.
It was really fun.
He was super fun. Like, I could see him being like, oh my goodness, these people always taking my picture, but he played along with it. He took pictures of us being paparazzi. He held knitted items like, Dustlin mitts and what was it, his clockwork? Is that the one that he...
Somebody had knit, anybody who had knit something that he had designed, we were like, oh, keep up, and he made his darling smiles that are so cute and coy, just like in his photographs from his patterns. And
and he was super tall. Yeah, super tall. I think he was taller than Josh, if I remember the picture of them together.
Okay.
But dinner was delicious. It was delicious.
Yes. I wish I had more of the ravioli.
Yes, the ravioli was really good, and there was asparagus and
salad and bread and a wonderful chocolate cheesecake thing.
Yeah, that was good. And Yeah, and Stephanie was just hysterical. Like my side hurt the next day. Like I had done.
Now, apparently this is it's the last hurrah of this particular speech, but I hadn't heard it before.
This is your brain on knitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really love how she mixes humor and just like you felt smarter after
facts.
Yeah, like humor and facts and really open at the end to asking questions, and she was just fantastic. She took a picture of us where we were holding our hoe bag because, you know, yarn harlot. You're going to hold up your...
It was beautifully blurry. And
yeah. Well, yeah, and you don't ask Stephanie Pearl McPhee to take another picture because the one you took was blurry, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just let her go.
Yep. And you were wearing... What were you wearing? You were wearing a dress. I put my dress on that I brought, and then I felt like I was impersonating somebody, so I was like, nah, I'm just going to wear my Autumn's End by Alana Dakos with my Road to China Light.
I wore the Color Affection that night. Before then, I was wearing my sabbatical all day. And then I wore it the next day at the event, but it just got so hot. It was hot in Minnesota.
Yeah, well, it hadn't been hot.
I know.
And then all of a sudden, it's like when you want to wear your hand knits, it got really warm. And so that was Friday. We hung out in the bar. We met the
podcast.
Yeah, I have their card right here.
Oh, okay. It's the twin set.
Yep. Twin set. Twins bound by a love of knitting, talk about knitting and more. Twinset.usa. And then, woke up really early because we were excited. It was like Christmas the next day. And we went into the marketplace a little early and gave our store samples to Miss Jeanette and George of Sun Valley Fibers.
Helped them hang some stuff up. Felt like a professional.
I did. And I don't feel like I really helped them all that much. But I felt like we made an effort. Yes. So that's good. Well, they had most of it done. Which,
they did.
Oh, that was a lot of work because they bring a lot of stock because they have a lot of wonderful stock. And we'll show you what we got in the marketplace maybe after we talk about the classes.
Yes.
But we ran into the Jennifer that night with Twinset Ellen and Twinset Jan. And who else did we run into during the day?
We ran into people that I hadn't met before. So, new to us at meeting in person. We've met the Jennifer before. But the treasurer of the Knitters Guild, it was great to meet you. And then I believe her name started with a J, and again, my memory's... But we met in the Stephen B. while I was picking out yarn that never got purchased. I let it go too long, and people had whisked away all of the goodies in quantities I needed. So. And
what else? So we went to the marketplace. We met up with Josh after the classes, right? Josh Ricks.
Yes.
Of the Sort of a Knitter podcast and Sort of a Knitter out on Ravelry.
Yep, Geometrix Designs.
Yeah, and I'm going to do an effort to try to grab the people whose names we're not remembering. It's not because you're not important, but because we're putting ourselves on the spot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly, because, I lost my button bag. I looked through all of my stuff, and I had a bag of buttons. So if you're from Minneapolis, or maybe the treasurer of the Knitters Guild, and you saw a bag of buttons laying around, or it got turned in, I haven't called the hotel or anything
there
yet.
should be a way to find us, right?
Lost and found. It has our web address on the button.
Yeah, and only hopefully us would have that many of them.
Yeah, right? It was like it was a hefty amount. It was probably over 20 buttons.
Yep. So then we went to classes. Did you want to talk about yours, or did you want me to talk about mine?
I took beginner shawls with Stephen West. So we got a top-down shawl workshop. So we had knit like a shawl for a hamster, basically, and it was a triangle shawl. We started with a garter tab cast on, and so a lot of people learned garter tab and just little tips and tricks that I don't necessarily want to completely give away. Yeah, it was really fun. And so the first half of the class was a lot of learning and structure and working on your projects. And then after a quick stretch break, which was really enjoyable, he's got all those things about movement and stretch. So he was showing us different stretches to help out your hands. And then we got to do like a big shawl show and tell. So he had brought his suitcase full of shawls. So all his samples he'd ever knit up. Wow. The ones from the actual patterns. And just like different yardages that the different sizes took, and what it was like to knit through them for him. And and we just got to ask all our questions that we had for him, whether they were just like, oh, do you enjoy this part of where you live now, and I don't know, they're personal questions, I guess, as well as design and shawl and color matching, and he was very nice to sign and take pictures and do all that stuff during this part of the class.
The thing I think I remember about what you said about the class was like that he just was like so happy. Like if he was getting across the classroom, he just kind of had a pep in his step.
Oh yeah, he was like leaping. Like he's a dancer, so it's probably just a natural inclination.
Stay on your toes.
Yeah, that when you cross a room, you leap. It was a lot of fun.
You don't cross a room, you dance across it.
Yeah.
You glide. Yeah.
And yeah, it was great fun. Seeing the geyser stretch in person, I totally want to knit one. That was another thing I wrote down. It's like, oh, I like that a lot, and I want to knit it now.
And I had, are you done?
Yes, I'm
okay.
done. I'm good.
I had Grok the Sock with Stephanie Pearl McPhee, and I learned, it was a beginner sock knitter class, and I've designed socks and I've knit quite a few socks more recently than ever, but it was really good. There was a lot of like to be very punny, rules of thumb, right? Like she said, basically you can knit anything for anyone if you take a tracing of their hand, because a lot of anatomy stuff is based on measurements on your hand. And again, I'm not going to give all of it away, because then I would be teaching you the class, and you should go see it, because she teaches it much better than I would ever be able to relay it to you. But lots of humor, lots of, again, much like her speech, lots of facts mixed in with that humor. She did like a history of knitting. It's not really all that old. Weaving and some of the other crafts have been around for a really long time, but knitting is like 1,000 years old.
Oh, okay.
Not all that old at all, and crochet, she said, was even newer than that. And it was just really a lot of things that I didn't understand about. I've put gussets into toe-up socks, and she said that's not really a heel flap and gusset. It's another form of short row. She gives a lot of why she likes top-down socks, because they're more customizable, which again makes sense because the heel is dependent on the number of stitches in a toe-up. You can't independently adjust the heel So if you are like me and short row heels fit toe-up socks are awesome. Again, pros and cons of toe-up versus top-down. And basically the whole gist of the class was that you should be able to knit a sock without having a pattern, without thinking. And so, it was a good class. It was filled with humor. I learned a lot, even though I consider myself not a beginner sock knitter, and I would highly recommend it. Yeah. And then after that, we bought things at the market, but we saved it all for this end point. I was carrying around Amy's mom's bag.
I was too, but I left everything but what I bought at home, so I have no knitting with me. That's kind of weird. I don't just normally sit here, but
and I have my badge. And I was going to try to remember. Oh, we saw Grinning Gargoyle. We saw all of the vendors that were that are going to be at our retreat marketplace. Yes. And we tried to check in with them. A couple of the places that are going to be on the yarn crawl, we tried to check in with them as well. I saw, this is my Skype rib or skip rib sock by Adrienne Koo, Mushroom Knits. I have a picture of her holding it, and I tried to post most of the pictures that I had out in
the yarn over thread.
Yep. And if you have any that you shot and you want to add, go right ahead, because it's kind of a nice place to put pictures. Amy.
I've been a little busy.
No, you're not busy at all. And then, so we'll talk about our purchases, and I have a few reminders at the end, administrative trivia, but then, again, this isn't our normal format. So
and we'll be back to normal format, recording Wednesday night and doing Thursday upload. But I will talk first since you just got done with your class description.
Yep.
So this yarn caught my eye. It looks very much like the Shelter from Brooklyn Tweed, but it's a tweedy, and it is a gray, and it's Studio Dongle. Who is the teacher? She and Franklin Habit are doing the cruise. And she does the...
Yeah, I don't have the little thing with me.
Okay.
I'm horrible with names, by the way.
Me too. She's a designer, she's a teacher, she's an extraordinary knit woman. Well, this was the yarn that she was selling at her booth along with her books. So I'm pretty sure that's how it went. Anyway, so they had a sweater knit up in it. It was gorgeous, cablelicious, and it struck me every time I walked by. I loved the look of that sweater. It just looked so cozy and rustic. So after much contemplation, I bought a sweater's worth of this. So it was really nice.
And reasonably priced.
Yeah, really reasonable. 210 yards. I got 6 balls because I wanted to make a sweater, but probably not one as cable-y as they had. I would have needed an extra ball.
That is Irish.
Yes, it's Irish. It's made in Ireland.
Product of Ireland.
Yes. And then my other purchase is from Knit Circus Yarns, and I think Knitting Recipes, Hat and Cowls. So same person. Say that's Jayla.
Jala Spiro
Jala Spiro
is how I would say it.
Okay.
But again, I'm no authority.
So she has an ebook out, and this was the sparkle yarn, and it's I don't know, it was really reasonable. It's a merino, silk, nylon, and silver blend for $20. Are you kidding me? I didn't even know it had silk content in it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, sparkly yarn for $20, that's pretty good. And I looked at the yardage and took it home, and I was like, oh, it has silk in it. Nice price. So I don't know if she's watching. We weren't handing out too many cards to everybody, but if she is, this was really reasonable, and I enjoyed it very much.
The gal that sat at my table, that's from Rochester.
Emin Quilter.
Yeah.
Amy.
Yep, Amy. And we also saw her and Sarah, who is, what's her Ravelry name?
Save the Planet.
Yes. And I love that Ravelry name, which I don't know why I don't remember it. But she bought some, where it goes from white, our
Gradients.
Gradient from her.
They had a lot of gradients. They had sock gradients, so there were 2 smaller balls that gradiated together, and then they had bigger balls for like shawls that gradiated. But I don't know. I just the blue sparkly yarn just drew me in, and the price was right, and whipped it.
Away you go.
Yeah. There was another Angora blend that I'm like, oh, it was so pretty.
And you knew the pattern that you wanted to use.
Yeah, so it's like one skein, and it was calling my name, but the price was not right. You know that feeling? Mm-hmm. You're like, it's just $7 too many. you know, for one skein, $7 too many.
Or scarf, or yeah.
And then, last but not least, Jeanette. Sun Valley Fibers got me. I don't have any of her roving yet. I have lots of her beautiful yarns, and I've used them, but I hadn't done. This is Superwash BFL. I got 2 that were just over 4 ounces, and I am very excited. Poolside and Flame.
Somebody said it looked like one of those bomb pops. If you mixed them together.
I need white, so that I can make a bomb pop cowl or something.
Yeah. Because doesn't that remind you of it?
It does.
It stuck with me. Yeah.
Totally does. It's perfect. I need white.
I also got some Sun Valley Fiber, and she also gave us some really cute buttons. A bad knitting day is better than a good day at work.
Oh, yeah.
I Heart Zombies.
I got that one.
Keep Calm and Cast On. I have a zombie survival plan.
I got that one too.
Yes, it's hysterical.
Then I got another one. You know, basically
yes, I got some.
And my buttons might be on their way to their
stripey whore.
What?
Totally me.
I did not see that one.
Oh, you had to dig. The buttons didn't like just scream
Pop
at
out
you.
you,
Yeah,
yeah.
you had to be like, oh, another gem. Oh, another gem.
It was kind of fun. It was a big bowl.
Yeah, a bowl like your mom made.
Yeah, one of those sewn clothesline.
Yep. So I got 4 skeins of this. It's very similar to TML, which I know I'm going to love. Love, love, love. And the color is intense. So I got 4 skeins of this in a very intense blue. So it is going to be something. And she had a, what did she have knit out of? Not the same base, but it did that same colorway.
Oh, big sweater.
Was it vodka lemonade?
Oh, yeah.
Was
that
it?
sounds right. Yeah.
Okay. It was one of those Dia Pullman ones. And then I was pretty good because the places that I wanted to buy a lot of were the folks that were going to be at a retreat. And I'm like, ooh, I'm going to just binge at the retreat and throw it on the hotel bed and roll around in it. But this is from Darn It Anyway, and it is Vice, hand-dyed for yarn lovers. It is their Carnal base, which is a heavy fingering. Funny Carnal. Heavy fingering. 70 merino, 20 cashmere, 10 silk. So yes, it's got these beautiful greens and blacks and turquoise and some grayer parts, but this was just screaming at me to be a shawl of some sort. Wildly variegated shawl. Something like the Pagoda. And that was our purchases. It took a little bit of doing to get it in.
Yeah.
But we got it in. And then I was going to mention as a quick heads up, remember May 1st, we didn't get to tell you this last week, is when Miracle Gen is over. So get it in by May 1st and the latest self-striping. And I was just going to flaunt the pretties, the batlings. And
so cute.
Yep, and these little, this is the April Showers Bring May Flowers colorway in her sock base, 100% merino wool. Up for grabs. So make sure you get your stripey entries in and your Marigold Gen entries in. I know, I was like, Amy, no. And thank you for bearing with us. I'm sorry that our schedule has been disrupted twice here in April because of me, basically me. And were you going to say what you wore? So you said you wore your. I was thinking of what else we could talk about on Saturday. We hung out with the Chicago crew.
Yes.
Blog with Carla, BJ Holly, Mom 3, 2 boys 76, Mom 2 boys 76. We saw Rock Knits again. We saw Minnesota Quilter.
If you have not seen Laura, what is it? My boys
Mom
2 boys 76. Her hand spun. Go check that out.
It's a sight to behold.
It is a beautiful sight to behold. I made her get it out of her car. I thought I'd mention it. It is so great. It's so consistent and beautiful. She would win contests wherever she goes. She's only been spinning. She's been spinning about as long as I have, actually.
As long as we've known her. Basically, because she started last year right before Yarn Over, I think, or a couple months before
Yarn Over.
That's
true. That's true. As long as we've known her. And it's just amazing. She's a savant.
Mom.
Yes.
But anything else?
Not that I can think of. I was going to say, what did I wear on Saturday? I wore my Amanda Bell Lacey show and got lots of compliments and didn't know what to tell people.
Yeah,
so
the pattern.
I handed out my new business cards, which I should have brought to show you. I have new business cards. And said, like, check out my Ravelry page and I'll magic link it, or I'll link it when she actually puts the pattern out. But got lots of compliments on it, and you were wearing your sabbatical again, right?
Yep, sabbatical, and then the graphic infection a little bit so that I could get a picture with Stephen West in it.
Yeah. And again, yeah, so thank you for
and Josh, of course, but sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
It's like you're trying to end it. I know.
Yeah, well, and so, yeah, we will be back to our regular recording schedule on, again, like you said, Wednesday, being published on Thursday, and hopefully life will quit getting in the way.
Yeah.
And we'll have all of our regular FOs and whips and whatnot to explain to you. So
I purposely didn't bring them, right? So you wouldn't see a preview of next week. I didn't just forget. No.
She's very purposeful, that Amy.
Whatever.
So, have a great week until we see you on Thursday.
Bye.
Bye, Ufta.